Welcome to Timekeeping. This show will attempt to chronicle year-by-year changes to the Walt Disney World Resort, from the excitement of a new ride opening to the minutia of a store changing names. Join us as we celebrate 50 years of the vacation kingdom of the world. 2011 was a year of construction, with Walt Disney World working on new hotels, new shops, major and minor refurbishments, and an entirely new land. Guests could hardly avoid construction walls promising to excite them to return. This pattern would continue for much of the decade, but 2011's openings and announcements began the march toward the modern Disney World. The Disney Parks marketing theme for the year would be "Let the Memories Begin." Free ticket opportunities would go away. This was less of a promotion than Disney embracing social media marketing by encouraging guests to post photos across online platforms. This was reflected at the Magic Kingdom through the Magic, the Memories, and You projection show. This was the first fully projection-mapped show set on Cinderella Castle and served mainly as a pre-show to Wishes. The show projected various characters and movie scenes onto the castle facade with a full range of motion, including transforming the tallest tower into a rocket, which would take off. Throughout the show, pictures that were taken that day in the park by Disney PhotoPass photographers were interspersed into the scenes on the castle. The show premiered on January 18th and was a big hit. Starting at the Magic Kingdom, in September, the Transportation and Ticket Center parking lot zones were renamed and divided into both heroes and villains. Inside the park, changes were coming fast as well. Having been evicted from their meet and greet area by the new Fantasyland expansion, Mickey and Minnie Mouse and some princesses began to meet in Town Square Theater, with soft openings on March 31st. Later in the year, the Talking Mickey Mouse meet and greet began to playtest there as well. It actually started on Halloween night during Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. July 11th would see the Main Street Firehouse close and its merchandise move to the Emporium as part of the preparation for the Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom interactive game. The card-based interactive game started testing in November of 2011 and would officially debut on February 22nd of 2012. Guests would check in at the Main Street Firehouse or another location in Liberty Square to receive their packs of cards and start the game. The game was played at portals built into windows throughout Main Street, Adventureland, Frontierland, Liberty Square, and Fantasyland. The story, which played out in animation on the screens located in the windows, had Merlin recruiting guests to help prevent Hades, as well as a host of other villains, from obtaining pieces of a crystal that would allow them to take over the park. Each card represented a spell that guests could hold up to cast at the window, and each spell had its own custom animation. Each land had its own quest, which would send the guests back and forth across the land to a series of 5 or 6 steps. Once they defeated that quest's villain, which could range from Cruella de Vil to Jafar or Maleficent depending on the land, the guests would then be sent to another land for another quest. The game initially consisted of 60 base cards, with another 10 being exclusive to merchandise purchases, and starting in 2012, hard ticket parties would also offer an exclusive themed card. Adventureland saw changes starting with its entrance. Like Liberty Square had previously done, the entrance bridge from the central hub was rebuilt to a lower grade of an incline starting in January. The Enchanted Tiki Room under new management had experienced a small fire on January 12th, prompting its closure. The fire was said to be small and contained, with most of the damage coming from the water used to contain it. Disney would use the opportunity to replace the outdated show that was very much a product of its time with a new version of the classic opening day attraction, the Tropical Serenade. Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room opened on August 15th as a slightly shorter version of the original, with the primary difference being the removal of the Offenbach piece. As well, the fountain was not restored. Instead, it became the Enchanted Tiki Steamer, well, at least that's what I call it. Tortuga Tavern replaced Il Pirata y El Perico on February 6th, and Blackbeard replaced Davy Jones on the missed screen projection in the grotto scene of Pirates of the Caribbean on May 20th, coinciding with the release of the 4th film in the series. On July 28th, the ferries displaced by the Fantasyland construction received a new home in Adventureland in the Adventureland Veranda, now known as Tinkerbell's Magical Nook. The Swiss Family Treehouse underwent a major refurbishment throughout the year and reopened with a new entrance. Like other parts of the park, Frontierland underwent some significant facade refurbishments throughout the year, keeping the shooting gallery closed for most of it. Splash Mountain reopened from its annual refurbishment on February 6th with the addition of lap bars in the logs. Nearby, the Haunted Mansion would undergo a number of changes throughout the year. The interactive queue would begin to operate on March 14th, taking guests through the graveyard. However, it wasn't well received in some cases, and many changes were made later, such as the lengthening of Master Gracie's plot after some guests complained it was too short to hold an actual body. In addition, a new wheelchair entrance was added through the servants' quarters hallway, and on April 4th, a brand new hitchhiking ghost scene was added, replacing the classic version with projections that would interact with guests. Fantasyland and Mickey's Toontown Fair would be construction sites throughout the entire year. In January, the plans for New Fantasyland were updated, removing Pixie Hollow and some of the princess elements in favor of the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train attraction. The announcement also included the eventual closure of Snow White's Scary Adventures. While Dumbo the Flying Elephant and Snow White would operate in all of 2011, Mickey's Toontown Fair would not, closing permanently on February 2nd. This also included a short diversion of the Speedway track. Throughout the course of the year, a number of projects would be visible to guests. The Skyway Station in Fantasyland would finally be demolished. The exterior of Pinocchio's Village House would undergo a massive refurbishment, and progress would be visible on the Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, and Storybook Circus sections of the upcoming New Fantasyland. Flynn Rider would leave the Tangled meet and greet on July 2nd. Meanwhile, next door, the Cheshire Cafe would replace the Enchanted Grove in November. Over at EPCOT, the Neverland Fairies moved into interventions between their eviction from Toontown and their new home in Adventureland. Made no sense. Also in interventions, Don't Waste It would close on June 12th, and the Velcro Slapstick Studios closed to become a AAA Storytime experience in October. July saw both the House of Interventions return with an update and a remodel to Mouse Gear. Journey into Imagination saw some much-needed repairs in May, including updates to the post-show, such as the interactive color wall. The Pin Central tip board was replaced, finally becoming digital after years of not really working. The main shop in the China Pavilion became the House of Good Fortune in May, and the Katsura Grill in Japan replaced the Yakitori House on December 6th. At Disney's Hollywood Studios, Block Party Bash ended its run on January 1st to be replaced by Pixar Pals Countdown to Fun on January 16th. The new parade reused elements from Block Party Bash, such as the block towers and some of the stage floats. It began with an Incredibles unit as one of the redressed block towers. It was followed by the old A Bug's Life unit. Remy then rode the next block tower with the old Monsters, Inc. float and Up characters on another tower behind it. It ended with the Toy Story unit and a few of the repurposed cones. The music for the parade came from the Pixar Play Parade. However, Disney would just cycle over and over the same track. The parade, because it was done on the cheap, was not well received and would have a very short lifespan. Disney Junior Live on Stage replaced Playhouse Disney in March, with the only change to that show itself being Jake and the Neverland Pirates being added, replacing My Friends Tigger and Pooh. The Lotsa Hug and Bear meet and greet was removed at the end of April to be replaced by a new Winnie the Pooh area, representing that film's release on May 25th. Also on May 25th, Phineas and Ferb received a permanent meet and greet area near the exit of Muppet Vision 3D. After a week of soft openings, Star Tours The Adventures Continue officially opened on May 20th. The new version of the ride removed the backstage to on-set transition. Guests now enter directly into the Starport area. After passing C-3PO and R2-D2 working on a Starspeeder 1000, guests would pass by a security screening checkpoint manned by one of the Goose Droids. Captain Rex, the pilot of the previous attraction, could be seen in the queue as an item that had just arrived to the Starport, that being because this is a prequel attraction to the original. Once given their 3D flight goggles, as the attraction is now presented in Dolby Digital 3D, guests would watch a new pre-show video that shows 3PO accidentally becoming the new pilot. The safety spiel of the pre-show would be performed by a new droid named Ali Sansan, voiced by Academy Award winner Allison Janney. Once on the ride, guests would not know what to expect, as there was 54 total ride possibilities, with some minor ones as well, although those wouldn't debut until years later. The ride is broken into 4 segments: the launch, a first planet, a message, and a final destination. The launch featured either Darth Vader or an Imperial probe droid trying to stop the vehicle because a rebel spy is on board. A guest image would be displayed on either the main or side screen during this point. After escaping, the ride ends up on either Hoth, Tatooine, or Kashyyyk, and takes part in key moments at those locations. Next, either Yoda, Admiral Akbar or Princess Leia would inform guests that they need to take the spy to a new location. Following a hyperspace jump, the ride would end on either Coruscant, Naboo, or just passing through the Death Star near Geonosis before arriving at a rendezvous with the Rebel fleet. Guests then exit with a bye-bye from Ali Sansan. The most significant part of this update is not even the update itself, but it's the fact that working on this project and its grand opening led to Bob Iger and George Lucas's initial conversation about Disney buying Lucasfilm. July would see an update for Cars 2 to the Cars meet and greet in the park, as well a Cars 2 segment featuring Lightning McQueen battling a car with a rocket strapped to the top of it would replace Herbie the Love Bug in Lights Motors action starting July 21st. Walt Disney One Man's Dream received an update in July and August, adding displays for the new Fantasyland project, Shanghai Disneyland, and the California Adventure Parks updates. Journey into Narnia Prince Caspian would close on September 10th. In an odd move, partially resurrecting a closed Pleasure Island attraction, Sounds Dangerous was converted into the Comedy Warehouse Christmas special during Christmas week to feature a holiday-themed version of the show. Over at Disney's Animal Kingdom on April 18th, you would see the premiere of the Truckosaurus Dance Party in Dinoland, USA. The most significant development for Animal Kingdom would come in the form of a surprise announcement of a land based on James Cameron's Avatar film that was announced on September 20th. It was very sudden, with Imagineering supposedly only learning about the deal at the same time as the public. Demolition of Pleasure Island elements began in earnest in January, but stalled along the way with those Hyperion Wharf plans. The LEGO Imagination Center underwent a major remodel to open in April, receiving several new displays, including a giant LEGO Maleficent Dragon. On May 16th, the AMC Theater received its dine-in screens and a new entrance on the east side of the building. In June, the Marketplace side saw the reopening of Little Mismatched, relocated from the west side, as well as Fun Finds replacing Pooh Corner. In July, the Harley-Davidson store in Pleasure Island closed to take over a larger space on the west side. In October, Ride Makers opened up inside the Team Mickey complex, and October saw Something Silver replace Magic Makers on the west side. Resort construction focused on the art of animation and the start of a Disney Vacation Club wing at the Grand Floridian. The Princess Rooms at Port Orleans Riverside were announced alongside health suites at the Contemporary that would feature hypoallergenic rooms with specialized linens, toiletries, and in-room exercise equipment. These were nixed later in the year and never happened. Princess Rooms did, though, obviously. The HP Fieldhouse at the Wide World of Sports was renamed on March 3rd. The Paddock Pool opened at Disney Saratoga Springs Resort on July 5th, and Arnold Palmer Golf Management was announced to take over running the resort's golf courses on September 25th. Though it wasn't announced, free Wi-Fi began appearing in December. 2011 would be the genesis of many things that would not just affect the Walt Disney World Resort, but the Walt Disney Company as a whole. Star Tours was not only a great update to a beloved classic attraction, but would lead to so much more. While the Avatar announcement was initially considered a joke, the seeds that were planted by that would bear unexpected fruit many years later. 2012 would be one of the biggest years the company had seen in many, many years, and at Walt Disney World, it would be no different with the opening of many new attractions and an entirely new land at the Magic Kingdom. Well, time sure flies. Enjoying your jump from time to time with us? Well, please subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, and please support many of our other programs. If you're looking for the perfect gear to celebrate 50 years of the Vacation Kingdom of the World, head on over to carouselofproducts.com. If you want to support this show and others, you can join the WDWNT Inner Globe Society at patreon.com/WDWNT. We'll see you real soon right here on Timekeeping.